I hate to break the fishing news after Ramchak, but I'd like to speak about the ice hockey.
Congratulations. You're one of the 13 listeners of the Real Life Podcast.
We just traded a migraine in for like an orgasm.
Might want to mark that down.
Yep. All of my projects are on schedule until they're not.
A member of the Nation Network of Podcasts.
About as funny as we're going to get today.
You know how I know JR's not here? Nobody talked through the intro.
Yeah, for the guy who is always telling me, like, we need more structure, we need more this, he's usually the basis of a good amount of the chaos.
Every time. None of us had any intentions of talking through said intro. We're all learned professionals.
We thinking about pasta at Franco's.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice,
baked tortellini or something.
Ooh, a nice baked lasagna.
Yeah.
Franco's Pizza is just on another level. I don't know what I don't know where they get that Parmigiana from, but it is good.
Probably right from Aroma.
One hand wrapped around the fork, one hand wrapped around the bells in the field.
All righty. Giddy up. Welcome into the Real Life
Yeah.
Podcast. Cowboy Chris fired up.
Yeah, oh, man. Right around Broncos. We are back. No, it's just so funny. I have really focused and paid attention to the atmosphere in every place I go. The day after a win and the day after a loss.
We're all light on our toes today.
My own mental state. I walk in this office today. She is buzzing.
Oh, yeah.
Waz has got his 9-foot toes out. Everyone's clapping and singing. Eh?
This city is just hilarious at how we live and die with this team. And like the next day you walk into places and people are visibly irritated if we've lost.
So my favorite was last night. Me and Tyler went to the game together and Wanya was there as well.
Also, my first time ever watching a game with Juan.
Yeah, what a win. Too.
Really?
Yeah,
you guys hug?
We high-fived a lot.
A lot of high-fiving.
I told Tyler I was going to throw myself off the balcony and kill myself. And then 2 goals later, he high-fived me and said we were going to live forever. And then 1 goal later, I said I was going to jump off in victory.
Yeah, mosh pit style.
Yeah.
But so right as the game started, I always do a thing where I take a picture of the ice and I post it on the Nation's Instagram.
Because how are they going to know you're there if you don't take a picture up and post it on
But we're
Instagram?
covering the game. We're there. We're in the mix of posting that shit on social. Do you know what we do for a job?
I do.
So I post that 5 minutes later, Oilers down 2-rip. So in the intermission, I just opened up the comment section and it was just chaos in there. We're out of this. Nurse is -2. Got to get Skinner out of there. The season's over. And I was just like, holy hell. It is a dark place. We went up, we went down. It was an emotional roller coaster. And
it's just like group chats. You can feel it in the moment. And I'm not going to lie. I don't know if you guys are like this, but when we're down, I have no interest in going on to Twitter or X or whatever. I got no interest. I don't want to hear it. I just want to sit there and I just want to stew. But the minute we get up, every commercial break, I'm fucking hammering Twitter. I'm hammering X. I want to read it all, right? Are you guys like that, or you go good and bad? Are you?
I'm usually on Twitter no matter what, but I think you're the opposite of what most people do. I think when it's going well, people are kicking their feet up, being like, "Hell yeah, I love this team." When it's bad, they're like, "Phone out." I got to tweet about how shit Darnell Nurse is.
So after the changes to the lineup and after Darnell getting kind of beat up in the media and Connor sticking up for him, that first 10 minutes of that game couldn't have gone any worse for the decisions and for the people who were on what we like to call the hot seat.
They were on the stinky boy list.
The stinky boy list. And to see Darnell, McLeod, and Perry get together for that first goal made me so happy.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Just like we drew it up.
I am so done questioning anything Nobby does. I will not do it. I take out Pickard, put in Skinner, buddy, whatever you do, I will trust you. In Nobby, we trust.
My guy's got nuts the size of the North Saskatchewan. He's just like the kind of
Randy Marsh.
Randy Marsh
with the wheelbarrow.
With the wheelbarrow parading him down. Buffalo Soldier in the heart of America. But like he's got his finger on the pulse of the team in a way that is just completely unique. Like last year we saw the same kind of situations almost, but Jay Woodcroft didn't pull those levers.
Oh.
He just kind of let it ride. Whereas Knobloch's like, fuck it, I'm in.
Like deciding that your team's best chance to win game 3 was with Ryan McLeod out. Deciding that you didn't need Corey Perry for 4 games and then being like, fuck it, playing him on the second line is such an insane person thing to do. That makes no sense.
How do you think Perry played?
fine.
Fine. Serviceable is a word I use.
Yeah. One thing that I loved is that he was the worm last night. He was in people's ear. He was chirping. He was talking to the boys on the bench. And like there was a period point really late in the game, right before Ekholm scored the empty netter. Bouchard takes one right in the numbers. Ekholm goes down, empty netter. The first thing I look over, and there's Corey Perry and Chris Tana, or whoever that defenseman was. Tana was out at that point. Yeah. Just in his face over and over and over and over again. Would not stop. Like, that's the Corey Perry we want.
Well, and the other thing about Corey Perry is I saw the things little things. I don't know if I put too much, like, I really look into these small things a lot. But, like, his simple puck protection and driving to the net yesterday, with one hand on his stick, like 3 or 4 times.
He drops a hand, puts it out.
Puts it out. He's getting low. It's, I don't care if you're 11 years old or you're in the NHL. You can tell when a player, if they're down and they're driving, they're in the game, because people stand up and they start playing up. We call it playing up, and you're just not strong. You're not sturdy. You're not in it. You're not focused. I don't know that that's what he was doing, but I haven't seen that Corey Perry that I saw last night all playoffs and even in the last little bit of the season. But when he's on, it looks different. He's low. He's driving. And I just loved it. It was great.
Our boy Colby Cohen from Morning Cup of Hockey was texting Tyler and I. He goes, I got Corey Perry anytime goal tonight. And I go, old. And then right in the first period, he had that clean look right from the high slot. I'm talking like 6 inches above the crossbar. It would have been perfect.
You know, the media is allowed to do the media thing, and that is question guys, question Darnell and
the
stuff.
Meat, as BX called them.
The meat, yeah. He was on one last night.
Which also, so he said he calls them the Edmonton meat because they're, what were the 3 things? Dead, raw, and dumb. No one's ever looked at a piece of steak before and been like, that's a real stupid piece of steak.
That's stupid steak.
When rappers do ciphers against each other and someone's accused of writing bars at home, they always get dissed by other cipher rappers. That's writing your bars at home, BX. Like, I love BX, don't get me wrong. But he was at home like, what can I do to stir things up? I'll call the media me.
My point with the media too was, though, as fans, we got to take a little bit of a lead from our captain, right?
Grow cool beard.
I don't care if a guy has a bad game. If he's not having
a cool
series,
$100 million contract.
Dang.
Yeah, right. No, but have their back, man. Like, I don't.
They did it in the arena.
But you know, the fan. I don't respect the fan that immediately after that thing goes off Darnell's ass, goes straight to Twitter and is like, fuck that guy. I told you. Like, what good does that do?
If you got a guy like me that made
does that just get it off your chest? If that's it, then fuck whatever, man. But that's lame in my opinion.
I just liked making the joke about it because in game 3, he stopped a shot with his ass. And in game 4, one bounced in off his ass.
His ass was now
giveth, taketh.
But I love people on social media like KevRock63 who's like, I've been saying all year to get rid of Nurse. Like, they didn't listen to you, Kev. They haven't made the trade because you tweeted about it 6 weeks ago.
What were your other takes? Probably because think of all the low hanging fruit. Probably should have waived Connor Brown earlier in the year.
Dude, that
redemption arc.
That Brown to Janmark, like.
And he called it a shit burger.
2 on ones back to back.
Is it fair to say, your Chuck, that Connor Brown has had a good playoff?
Oh, it's getting it. It's on a slope of a graph where it just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
You know, and his interview after, like, you can tell that's a guy with some confidence now.
I was just going to say, it's so weird to think about confidence in pro athletes because you're the best in the world at what you do. You should always be like feeling good about yourself. But Darnell, his confidence was at an all-time low in games 2 and 3. He wasn't taking any risks. He was trying to play so safe, and he's not good when he plays safe. He's good when he's aggressive. Last game, he was up in the rush, I think, more in that game than he was in the first 3 games combined.
He was more physical. He had more hits last night than the last 7 games combined. He was a fucking menace.
Yeah, and like same thing with Connor Brown. Like when he was going out there before, goalless, playing all scared, doesn't want to fuck up, doesn't want to turn anything over. And then versus now, it's like, oh no, I'll make a play. Oh, shorthanded? Yeah, let's go on a rusher. I'm not just going to send it down and get off the ice.
Yeah, like these hyper competitive pro athletes don't just like not try. Like he might just, you know, when his confidence is low, you know, somebody maybe in that room just said to him like, dude, we need you. And he just decided to, like, at that moment, he goes, look, it's fucking now or never. Like, I got to pick it up. Right. And it can happen. Like even pro athletes, they can just not have it one night. Right. Yeah. And like after 2-0 and you're looking at, it's like 4 shots, 500 save percentage. And you're thinking to yourself, holy shit, are we right back to where we were 4 or 5 games ago? Right. With Skinner. And it's stressful, but is anybody else like me where in that moment to try to make themselves feel better and not absolutely dig a hole and just lie down in it, kind of went, hey, maybe this is good for the team. We've seen us go up 2-0. We've seen us go up 2-0. I thought in the moment I was like, you go up 2-0. There's that's old saying, which is dumb, but it makes sense. A 2-goal lead is a no-goal lead because you have a 2-goal lead. You get your confidence. You start to think, oh, it's going to be easy. We can hold on to this. You give up one and you start to grip, and the other team's momentum raises. They score another one, and now you're really gripping. That next one is almost assuredly going to be theirs with the momentum, right? We've seen it happen against us. And when they were forced to be down 2-0 and start to take that game over, they did, and they never stopped. Where they played the best second period I've seen them play in
I swear to God,
playoffs. The playoffs.
I think that was the most important modern day Oilers game since 2006, just in terms of like the impact of it all. If they go on to what, obviously there will be a clip.
Well, we said this with Vancouver. 3-1 and 2-2 are so monumentally different.
They're a flight away from each other.
Yeah. It's best of 3. I loved it when he said when Connor said that after the game. It's best of 3 now.
I like it when he grabbed his big long beard and like tugged on it like he was Santa.
I just love that once the wheels started turning in the Oilers' direction, there was all gas, no brakes. That's
a different gear than I think the other 3 remaining teams in the NHL have. And the Oilers still sputter. They'll have no shots for 16 minutes of ice. It's crazy. But then they have that other gear, man, where when they pull the lever, they can shell teams. Like 5 unanswered goals against Dallas to me is mind blowing.
Like Dallas had not given up more than 2 goals in a road game coming into this series. Sorry.
Like last night when Leon scored that goal to make it 4-2, they had just finished the announcement on Janmark's goal. The place went bananas. That was probably the loudest I've heard that building in so far in the playoffs. And I think a big part of it was how unlucky the start was.
I know their numbers are super similar, obviously being 29 and 28, but do you ever look at Connor Brown and think it's Draisaitl?
No.
Just like we used to. I don't know, man. One time he was skating down the ice and he got tripped and I'm like, oh, I think it was the tripping call on him.
Yeah.
I thought that was Dry. Just like I had sometimes seen, you see Fogle skating.
I think Fogle's Connor sometimes.
And you see the 7. Yeah. So that's
like half a second.
I did that with Brown last night. And I was like, oh, that's weird.
Bigger bodied guy with a 20. Yeah, I can see you.
You ever see Connor Brown and think it's Brett Kulak and then it is Brett Kulak, but then you realize he's also Connor Brown?
And then you realize you're actually just looking at Warren Fogle the whole time. And you're like, fuck.
You realize your TV isn't on and you're at the bus station?
So.
No?
Yeah. All the time.
I'm eating handfuls of potting soil somewhere.
Then you realize you're not at the game. You're at the park and you're eating dirt underneath the pine tree.
Yeah.
That happens often.
Now I got a court date.
Let's go Oilers.
Oh, man.
We can laugh because we're happy.
All right. I got a couple of questions because these were making the rounds the other day or today, actually. And last night, BM and I talked about a few of them at the game. So it's going to be Keep or Cut. It's brought to you by Great Clips, more than 4,400 hair salons throughout the United States and Canada. Great Clips is the world's largest hair salon brand and official hair salon of the NHL. Your time is valuable. Use the Great Clips check-in app. See the wait time, check in on your phone, and get your haircut when you want. For more information, check out greatclips.com. Great Clips. It's going to be great. Keep or Cut. Oilers fans chanting Otter.
I don't like it. Cut it.
Cut it.
It's
To
like
me,
it's almost like a supporting thing.
It's his nickname, which I don't like.
Yeah.
They can't do
doesn't
Ottinger.
chant well.
No, because there's too many syllables.
But it sounds like it's a supportive thing when they do it. It doesn't sound like Talbot because you don't have the downer at the end, right?
You could do his first name, Jacob.
Jacob.
But is his real name even Jacob? I think he might be born a Jake.
Yeah.
You can't be born a Jake, can you?
Is there a rule saying you can't?
Well, probably the UN.
Trying to. What's the word for that?
Well, so also
abbreviation?
No, when you're doing the jeering. When you're jeering the other goalie, you can't use his nickname.
No, it's almost like a support mechanism.
That's
it's like when Skinner makes a big save, we go Stu.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
Could you imagine if in Dallas they were like Stu? You're like, are you supporting it? So do you want to do it? Yeah, cut it.
I love it. And this isn't part of the question, but when people start freaking out that people are starting the wave now on social, is one of the funnier things.
Well, that actually ties into the second keeper cut I have. chanting "We want the cup."
That was an amazing moment.
So you're in on it. You love it.
That's the second time I've heard it chanted. The other time I heard it chanted was 06 Game 6. And it was one of the greatest moments of my life. Last night was the second time I've ever heard it.
Where you've been in the building and you hear it?
18 years.
I've got parameters for it.
Go ahead.
Okay.
We have to be at least up by 2 or 3. It has to be the third period, and it has to be the last 5 minutes.
I don't think it was premature.
You cannot do it earlier than that, in my opinion.
Some people would say you only do it when you're like eliminating a team. It's like a send off for the boys. Like, we want the cup. Go.
You know what? I can get behind that.
I was double like giving her these last night when we wanted the cup. Oh boy.
When was it chanted? Do you remember?
5 minutes left.
It was right at the end of the third.
5 minutes left. We're up by 2.
Yeah. It was like when everybody was standing when
the game had been put away at that point. I thought
it was, if I remember right, it was after the At Home Empty Netter.
I remember hearing it and thinking this is
way less. I thought there was still a few minutes left.
There might have been not.
I think you have to be. I think you have to be up by 3, and I think you have to be an elimination game. I don't know. I had to admit when I heard it on the TV, I was kind of like, you just get that. I was like, oh, lame, and then I went on with my night. But like,
how about taking? It wasn't Mama Stanley. It was someone else in the crowd who has also now painted themselves silver and worn all silver. Fans in the lower bowl picked them up and were crowd surfing them. Where do we come?
That I'm on board with.
Yeah,
that
I mean, have you ever crowd surfed before?
Yeah, have you?
No.
Whoa, it is. Yeah,
I've
Edge Fest
a million times
at Commonwealth. There used to be every year there was a music festival called Edge Fest, and there would be like Creed was there, 7 Mary 3, like fucking Big Sugar, all these different types of bands, right? And we would crowd surf, and it's awesome.
The last time I went crowd surfing, me and my boys got tickets to Marilyn Manson on my 30th birthday, and we went into the pit. And I crowd surfed all night. I had the best time of my life.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Original question. I'm out on the we want the cup thing. I do it if you want. I'm very much a job's not done guy.
You are.
So that's always my stance on it.
Yeah. I've crowd surfed. I was at Woodstock 99. Korn was performing.
Fucking right.
And I was up there and then I realized I've never been to Woodstock 99 and I'm at the Capilano A&W.
Eating dirt.
And they're like, sir, you have to have a car to go through the drive-thru. And I was like,
you on bath salts all the time these days or what?
I'm happy because we're winning.
Man, they really had their moment to kind of disappear.
Those are non sequiturs. Bath salts?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're out of the Great Clip segment now. Great Clips. Back to regular programming. It's the toughest thing to an ad read on this podcast because it always ends up back to bath salts.
Well,
yeah, there was that one guy in Florida who ate another dude's face on bath salts. And it was like, could be the next.
There's a lot of people that used to get naked.
This could be on the come up.
Used to be naked in traffic. You know, I'm saving that for after the others do the thing.
Bath salts have fallen off.
So this other person, I got to ask a follow-up question about this other person, gray, silver, or whatever. No. That's Mama Stanley's thing.
Yeah.
So what is this person doing?
It'd be like if there was an alternate banjo guy out there.
That'd be cool.
Do they have a cup on their head? Like, what is their look? Describe their look. Oh, you have a picture?
Yeah.
Okay. Other thing.
I think if you're going to do it, you need to tweak it somehow. Like maybe you put the VR on and you're like virtual Mama Stanley, right?
Do you know what is got to be
similar getup?
Hilarious.
Showing her?
You know what's one very, very impressive thing? There isn't a single telecast of an Oilers game where McMullet, Magoo, and Banjo Man don't make an appearance.
We really have quite the Avengers.
So
we really
talking
do.
about this in Dallas because we've been lucky enough, Tyler, to go to LA. We've been to Vancouver. We went to Vegas, and now we've gone to Dallas. This feels like a very unique Edmonton thing where people deck themselves out head to toe, paint themselves up. And I'm not saying there's not painted faces elsewhere, but I don't know that there's people quite like Banjo Guy where he walks 3 feet and people are like, can I take a picture? 3 more feet. Can I take a picture? I feel like that's a very unique Oilers thing.
I think that's what's so cool, though. It's like the team is getting so good that people are like going professional as characters.
Yeah.
Right. banjo guy, like the work that guy puts in, night out to that get up is unbelievable.
Well, and that's
about 2.5 to 3 hours on the makeup every game day.
the only other thing that I've seen in North American sports that's like that is the NFL. Right. There's a lot of people that are like the Raiders fans, even at Cardinals games. There's always a couple, at every game, 2, 3, 4, but that's only 8 a year. Banjo Man's doing 8 in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks if it's home.
Takes a show on the road too.
Oh, yeah, he's going on the road show. He's doing it every second night if he's on the road, and he's painting that on his face every second. Like that's commitment to the bit, man.
And even the cover.
I respect it.
It was very funny going into game. What would that have been, Tyler?
What does
Game
Benjamin
1?
smell like?
Beautiful.
Smells like great. Smells wonderful.
Does he do the laundry every day? I mean, he's wearing it every second day.
He's gotta take
Is
off
there
the
anything
pins.
you have
You gotta take off the pins one by one.
for every second? Oh,
Watching
I never
him
even
walk
thought
through
of that.
the metal detectors for game 1 was hilarious.
It's like they don't even make him do it anymore. He's like the commercial with the guy with the catfish in his stomach.
He just kind of like walks through and they're like secondary and they're trying to wave the wand, but he's got 35 pounds of pins on his pants.
If I was them, I'd just be like, listen, I'm not going to do anything to get kicked out of this building in perpetuity.
Chalmers, he's not naked under the overalls. He has clothes on underneath.
What does that have to do with anything? He's supposed to clean the overalls. Is he wearing them or not?
It's hard to wash pinveralls.
No,
Yeah,
but he doesn't have
pinveralls
to
tough
wash
to
the
clean.
overalls.
Like
Andrew guy, if you're
ever?
listening to this.
So you're saying that if you have a t-shirt on underneath a hoodie
Let me ask you a question. How often do you wash your jerseys?
every second game,
Oh, wow. I never watched
I've
my
do not
never
wash
washed
them on
mine.
purpose.
every second game.
I've never washed my Connor 97. I wore it to his draft.
I've
I wear
never-
Messier every second game, or I wash it every
The
second game.
Nuge I thought I wore last night. I have never washed that.
Chalmers, I think you need a more up close look at Banjo Guy's overalls because they're, again, like very loose fitting. The clothes you would need to wash would be like the orange shirt he has underneath.
Okay,
Now that we have a full breakdown, like this is a good example of it.
right.
He doesn't need to wash that.
So
Like even that you're showing
Like
a photo
ever.
there of Captain Felton. Friend
those
of the
look really tight around his midsection. Are you telling me
They're
that
not though.
They're not. It's loose.
They're not.
It's
You
very
need to get up
loose
and
fitting.
get a take
fair
picture
enough.
with Banjo Guy.
How did
Outstanding.
Captain Felton evolve from Captain
There's
Felton
nothing
into
against
a guy
Banjo
with a
Guy.
captain costume with a guy with a signature? Like it's cool to watch it happen.
Yeah, so like Captain Felton after his thing is after every win, he takes a little shot out of his Stanley Cup mug. And now he's up to, what would that be?
10.
So yeah, it's funny just watching the bit evolve.
Yeah.
He's got the patches. He's got the, the whole thing, the garb.
Like our boy Dooks is still throwing it down from Oz. He's still
Mhm.
showing himself reacting.
No,
to the
fuck that guy.
Oh, hey, wait a second.
What?
There's Dukes. What's going on, Dukes?
Yeah, say to my face.
Shut the fuck up.
The fact I didn't tell you. Did you guys see him in the preview?
No. Has he been?
3 minutes.
Dude,
You piece of shit.
your reaction.
Oh, I've been listening. Don't you fucking worry. I'm here.
Oh yeah.
Dukesy, it is what time in Australia right now?
It is 6:27 a.m.
Whoa. What are you doing today?
That's why this is a coffee, not a beer.
Although last night you were fired up and you DM me and you were like, I want to come on Real Life. Let's do it. And I said, absolutely, you're
Yep.
coming on Real Life tomorrow. So you set the alarm for 6 a.m. Australia
You're
time
a good
to
Oilers
come
fan.
on the show. What were the vibes like down under as the Oilers topped the series?
Mate, that was probably the most pumped I've been since I saw a game in person. Like, it was really good. More relief than anything when we the Kings didn't really register because they're not shit anymore. It was more relief than excitement when we got through Vancouver, but being such a pivotal game yesterday, that was the most excited I've been for Oilers hockey since seeing a game in person. It was just unreal.
I want to ask you a super fan hygiene question, if you don't mind. And this is not going to go maybe the way you think. But your thing is you have the hockey stick that you put booze into and you drink out of it. Are you cleaning the inside of that hockey stick between uses?
Self-cleaning, dude.
I clean it. I give it a rinse after each go and again before each go because not so much for the germs, but because I don't want to fucking drink a spider or something like that when it's
How
Oh my god, that wasn't even entering my brain.
That's the most Australian answer ever.
yeah. How do you clean it? Just like a hose on jet or what?
Yeah. It's got because I used to use that one for street hockey. So the bottom's so worn that there's like at the end of the handle, there's like a hole that's there sort of naturally. So I put it through, and then every now and then, when I'm feeling really responsible, I'll go and get some what's that shit that like the germ killer stuff and throw down there and give that a bash. But I
also like that you rocked the cowboy hat to match Cowboy Chris today.
Yeah.
Well, hey, anybody recognize this guy?
Okay. Chalmers has something on his phone.
Hey, Chris, do you remember that time you flew all the way over to come to my city for 2 weeks to spend a bunch of time in all these different bars, and I didn't come out to, have the drinking challenge with you?
That's Dooksy calling me out the other day for not having a drinking contest with him. I respect it, man. Listen, 2 weeks.
You're showing your age by having it on speaker, but still having it up to your
No. I was putting the speaker portion to the phone, Dukes. Learn technology, bro. Anyways,
sorry, man.
I don't know what you say about the Stetson, but man, we look good in cowboy hats. I gotta say.
Yeah. No. See, this is an Akubra. They're Australian. I used to work at the factory, so this is actually a one-of-one custom Akubra.
Chalmers,
and
did you actually punch out the hats? I watched a guy making a hat on Instagram, and it is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I used to do the leathers, so like these have like leather bands. So I used to work on cutting out the leather and stuff. And some of the fancy ones, like wherever my top hat is, have like silk inliners. So I used to like.
What does one of those go for over there?
What, one of these?
Yeah.
Fuck, I wouldn't even know these days. Like a couple of hundred, few hundred, depending on the style.
It looks good. I like how it's taller than the Stetson.
Yeah, well, that was good because when I was ordering it, like I got even like the eyelets, different colors, and I picked the band out. I fully customized it, so it's a one-of-one.
Chalmers
you can't get this
cowboy hats on Father's Day. He goes to rural graveyards and looks for cowboy children who say, "Pa, we miss you, Pa. Here's the Stetson the way you would have wanted it." And Chalmers walks by the grave, takes the hat, and goes, "Not today, cowpoke," and walks out.
All right.
Got 8 hats.
We talked about it when you were here, but like your commitment to getting in these Oilers games with the time change is insane. And I can never quite remember it, but is it better or worse for you now that the games are starting earlier for us? So 6:30 Mountain versus 8:30 Mountain. Is that making your life easier or is it taking more commitment?
Well, when I'm at home, like to watch them, it's making it easier, although it's like 10:30 in the morning, so I can't always bust the beers out straight away. But the 1 PMs were a little bit better for that. But it sort of doesn't really matter. The only time it's a problem is if I'm at work and I just listen to the radio call instead of watch. But then it sort of clashes with the. Sometimes the morning early starts clash with a few more meetings, so I just miss bigger chunks, but it is what it is.
I love it. You just listen through like what feed?
The Ched?
Just go on the Ched website and just stream it through there. Or I've got like that Radio Canada app on my phone, so I can do that. I used to, at the other side I worked at, I doubt any of my old bosses will be listening, but
never know, Dukes.
Well, I hope they are because I don't work for them anymore. So the phone signal was good enough to have the game like streaming on my phone. So I just kind of hide it in the little hutch where my keyboard and all that is. And I could just watch the feed, put it behind my keyboard. It just looks like I was typing. But my new office, the fucking phone signal isn't as good. So the radio calls what I get, but that's still good enough. Like it's jack. So even though you can't watch it, you're certainly still getting a pretty good experience.
One cell tower in Melbourne, it's not cutting it.
Yeah, that's right. The old fucking the two cups with the strings together.
I just remember the Simpsons episode. He goes, that's the neighbor. I'll go get him. And he gets on his trike, starts riding down the street, and Bart just leaves it on hold. And they would rack up that big cell phone bill. You remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
I love that episode.
Oh, mate, that's a religious artifact, that episode over here.
Oh, it's so good.
I want to ask you a question that we debated off the jump last night. Like Wanya, you said biggest Oilers win since 2006.
I swear, Dukes.
Was last night the biggest win for you in this playoff run? Was it the most excited you've been in this playoff run?
Yeah, without a doubt. I think it was going down 2-0. I don't want to harp on it too much, but I just the people who give up too quickly, like the fans and stuff, who are so quick to just be negative and jump on certain players. It was just really fun to watch them do a 180. But for me, going 2-0 down, I just kind of thought, the people I was talking to and that, I was like, this is a really good chance for I was stressed out as well. Like I obviously fucking, I'm not stupid. But I was like, man, if we can turn this around and come back, like this is going to be the statement win of, it could end up being the game of the playoffs, depending on, how far we go and everything.
I'm with you.
I'm just super, like the way they came back, I think like they were saying on the feed, any other game, if it wasn't a playoff game, you probably just go, oh, well, fuck, whatever, let's just get through it and worry about it next time. But we turned it around, and it was like the complete opposite of the last few games. We've been getting really good starts and then just fucking taking the foot off the gas. So this was like the complete opposite. And it just proved that it doesn't matter. Like this team can handle adversity even against a huge team like Dallas that bring on anyone. Like if we're on our game on the night, no one can beat us.
Hell yeah.
Who are you shouting out for like maybe an underdog performer last night, dude? Like Janmark was first star of the game. What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, he was huge. It was awesome. It was like that Battle of Alberta where he had that fight out of nowhere. Like you kind of forget, because he's one of those people that go unnoticed, but like in a good way, because he doesn't really fuck up all that much. You kind of forget how good he is until he has a night like last night, and then you just suddenly remember that, oh yeah, he's on the team, but like there's a reason he's never out of the lineup. As much as Tyler tried there at one point.
He did. He sent him to Guantanamo Bay, Dukes.
I'm back. I'm all in on Janmark, though. I'm loving him right now.
Well, and I love how they gave him the respect of putting him on the podium, like putting him in the press conference after the game, because like
with Leon,
their penalty kill with Leon, and their penalty kill. I mean, it's historic right now, right? 23. And he is a huge, if not the main part of that.
The only special teams goal in this series has been scored by Matthias Janmark shorthanded.
No power play goals at all.
But you can see that he hasn't been on the press conference in the dais very often, because he seemed like a bit of a fish out of water there. But Leon did his best to back him up.
Yeah. And that celebration too. That one will go down if
let's get it up.
Fire up the crowd. That was great.
Yeah, there was just everything about it was like there wasn't anything. Everything about it was just so perfect, so good, and it was like I had to go back and watch the replay of that one in particular, because I was just so pumped that as soon as I saw it go in the net, I spun around in my chair, punching the sky, like banging my chair, all that crap. I didn't get to see any of that until I sat down after and watched the replay. It was like I said, it was just, that was one of the games, like, if we go far enough in this this season, I think that game will go down as the one that, like, where the boys sort of went, realized what they can actually achieve.
I don't think you're wrong, because like just simply, I've been sticking around a lot more in this series for the after the game press conferences, just to hear Nobby talk, hear Connor talk, hear everybody just kind of talk. I even like hearing the other team talk. I liked hearing Ben talk yesterday, but you could tell just how the confidence it was overflowing at that moment, like each one of them. And you could see Ben looked like, fuck, like we're going to battle back, but like, this is a tough one, man.
And maybe no more Tanev either. He was in a walking boot today at the airport, which could be massive.
Isn't it kind of funny that they just walk through the main terminal?
But so did the Oilers.
So we were talking about this on our other group chat, and apparently they are either bussed right to the plane or they should be going to a charter area where they don't have to be going through the regular airport. And JR was saying that when you guys were going to Vegas, you saw
Dallas. The US side was closed.
No. When you guys were going to Vegas, you saw like the flames or something. Like somebody else was like in the airport. I have to go look back. But this happens every so often. And I'm looking at it being like, what the fuck are NHL players walking through the airport?
Remember, there's always those pictures of McDavid in the airport. So like there are situations where they go through that general side and they're
so they just did this huge renovation out there and they didn't think about a team that flies 80 times a year.
I also wonder though, because when we went down to Dallas, what I thought you were getting at is when we went down to Dallas just last week, the US terminal side was closed. So we got pre-checked and then went through the main terminal. So I was wondering if they had some kind of similar situation, or maybe Chris Tanev's just taking,
he's looking for a booster juice.
The Rouge economy down to Calgary for his connector.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. All right. Dukes, you mentioned like having to deal with the fact that you work during the game sometimes. How deep into the run does it have to go for you to be like, I'm burning vacation days or something to just sit at home?
Yeah. It's definitely not far from there. Luckily, my boss at the moment, he lived in Calgary for 5 years. So he understands hockey. He said, admittedly, he wishes he got more into hockey while he lived there. But
well, now's the best time for him. Get him into it. And then you and him can take a day together.
Yeah, he goes, but being in Calgary, the Flames fucking suck. So it was kind of hard to get into the sport, when they're the team. And I was like, I started following this team in the Dallas Eakins era, so he didn't know what that meant, but I was like, yeah, so same fucking thing. But yeah, so definitely pretty close to that. Luckily, we had a public holiday during the week, and I swapped it for yesterday, so I got to watch the game, and then the next one falls on Saturday for me anyway, so I'll get to watch that.
So on the weekdays, like we watch the game, decompress for maybe probably an hour or something, and then we get to go to bed, right? You still got a full fucking night ahead of you. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, it stings a bit. Like sometimes I guess what's the game 3? Like I was listening to that at work with one ear in, sort of having to whatever. And I was kind of like, oh fuck yeah, like this is going really good, like mood's really great. And then what happened, and then you sort of got to just, all right, pull the headphones out. Oh, we've got a meeting to go into, and then you're kind of just sitting in the corner of the meeting, just kind of like, not really wanting to talk and blah, blah, blah. But it's one of those things like I kind of try to not let it get to me too much. Like, I hate if we lose, I get off Twitter straight away because everyone, I just don't like the whole negativity of it. Like it sucks and it still hurts when we don't win or, when something bad happens. But I try to just give it half hour or something like that. And then I just move on with my day. Like I'll just find something else to do. So I'm not sitting there fucking hating myself.
Stewing in it, yeah.
Because of the Oilers.
Enjoy the rest of this run, buddy. I love that you woke up early to come pop on the pod for 15 minutes here.
I never miss it.
He's got to be up early anyways. There's got to be some shrimp somewhere that need to be put on the bobby.
Oh, you suck.
Well done.
Thanks for having me on. It's this my second time now, so only like 3 more episodes and I've tied Chalmers, so that's pretty cool.
Hey, thanks for letting me know we didn't have one yesterday. I almost showed up.
No worries, mate. Hey, I think I can hear a toilet running. You better go catch it.
All right. See you, Dukesy.
Too soon, Dukes.
Too soon.
Take care. See you guys.
Starting to GoFund me for that.
All right. There you go. Away into the night goes Dukesy, or into the
That was a great segue. Just talking about him organically.
How funny was that you said that? And I literally had forgotten that I invited him on today.
How long has he been sitting there?
He was sitting there for like 3 minutes, I think. It wasn't long because we agreed he was going to pop on at 2:30 our time. So 6.
I got a question. You're like, he woke up at like 6:30. Is that early to you? 6:30 a.m.?
Yes.
Oh my God. Buddy.
Yeah, totally.
Chalmers, that's early for most people.
No, none of you have kids. It ain't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Tyler. Neither of us have kids.
Let me add. Most people in my living situation, that's early.
Yes, agreed.
We're both dinks.
Yes.
It's
Oh, your dinks all right. I like to touch them too.
Uh-huh.
all right. Let's get to, we need to get to another segment. It is our betting segment for our friends at Bet365. Open an account today and bet on a huge range of markets, whatever the sport, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. And when you sign up, use that promo code OILYBONUS. That's promo code OILYBONUS at Bet365. All right. There is one thing I want to get to. We're doing a ranking for Bet365. Conn Smythe trophy odds. I want to use that, and then I want you guys to give me your 1, 2, 3 rankings of who's been the most important Oilers in this playoff run. So Bet365 actually has McDavid as the favorite at plus 550. Next on the list for the Oilers only would be Draisaitl at plus 900, and then Evan Bouchard at 2,800, so 28 to 1. So 5.5 to 1 McDavid, 9 to 1 Draisaitl, 28 to 1 Bouchard. BM, how would you rank those three? Or how would you rank? You could throw anyone else in there. Who are your top three?
Of those three, I would do probably Draisaitl, Bouchard, McDavid, and it's weird to put them in that order. But Draisaitl is just full warlord mode. He became the first Oiler since Esa Tikkanen last night to score 10 playoff goals in back-to-back seasons. Bouchard, we're seeing what he's doing. He's just electric. And then Connor is just... Last night, he just puts up a casual 3-point night. Nobody talks about it.
It's so funny because Draisaitl's leading the playoffs in points, and you notice it. You're like, this guy's the best player in the playoffs right now. Connor overtakes him last night, and you're not really seeing like he hasn't finished. I think that's his problem. He's still electric, and on that power play, like last night, he was wheeling, right? But he's not finishing.
That on your stick on the goal line cost Tyler and I a bunch of money.
Lots of money.
Man, best save of the playoffs.
I had 2 same gamers on Bet365. The last thing I needed was a McDavid goal.
How is that stick falling not a penalty or something?
Well,
actually, did you see the video somebody else posted?
Could you put a stick along the red line and just like
just leave it there?
Yeah,
that's happened to the Oilers twice now. Well, the last one was in overtime against Nashville, where that exact scenario happened.
It was in like 2010 or whatever. Yeah. So your order was what again?
I went Draisaitl, Bouch, McDavid.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the top 3. Would you go any other order?
I don't think so. Yeah. I love what Bouch is doing right now.
Bouch has think 7 more points than any other defenseman in the NHL these playoffs. 3 game winning goals, I believe, leads the playoffs. It's definitely the most of any defenseman. 3 game winning goals for Bouch. Second only to Artemi Panarin.
I want to for Bouchard last night. He obviously scored the tying goal. The fact that everyone was looking at Connor and he just walked right down Broadway with not even a hint of hesitation. He's playing amazing hockey. He's got ice in his veins, that kid.
And there was a couple of times where he pinched to keep the puck in, and it was like it started a prolonged. I think 1 goal was even caused by just his like heads up play to get in quickly.
The 3 of us last night were just kind of joking around, being like, "Oh, he's gonna be rich very soon."
Yeah.
Every time he does this, I'm just like, everyone cheering right now is gonna be shaking their heads. Come contract.
You know who else is gonna be rich? Wyatt Johnson's gonna be rich one day, dude. That guy, he like kind of reminds me a little bit of like Nugent, the fact that he kills penalties. He's on the power play. Like he's
like 21.
He's fucking dynamic, that kid.
Well, that's why like last night when Skinner allowed a goal on the first shot of the game, Tyler made the point of just like, he allowed a shot on the first shot of the game, but it was a snipe by Wyatt Johnston.
They're going. It was Skinner. I was trying to remember this last night. It was Skinner who had the stigma of high glove. Was it not?
Yeah.
Rupe Hintz goes out at him on that breakaway too. Misses the net.
Yeah. Okay. Part 2 of the Bet365 question. Then we'll move on from this segment. So that was the 1, 2, and 3. Who would be number 4 on your list, Wanya, if you're ranking the most important Oilers to this run? I think there's actually, this is more interesting than
you had Connor, Leon, and Bouch.
Yeah. Who's 4 on your list?
Matthias Janmark.
Connor Brown, the real Connor, as I call him.
Pisani light right now, and I love it.
I think Ekholm, in my opinion. I think
Ekholm for legit.
That's my legit answer.
He is so good.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Zach Hyman.
What was that kind of? He is 4th on the Conn Smythe odds as well for the Oilers.
That's who I would pick as my 4th.
I'd be tempted to say Stuart Skinner with how good he's been in games 6 and 7, and then to turn it into playing good in this series. And he was good in those 2 games in LA when that series was still 1-1.
Can you get healthied and still win the Conn Smythe?
Well, that's probably why he's 500 to 1 on Bet365.
Yeah.
That's the actual odds.
You should be able to, though, because Conn Smythe is over the course of the playoffs.
Yeah.
When was the last time a player from the opposing teams won a Conn Smythe?
J.S. Giguère in the early 2000s.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, the other one I had, I don't know why I find this one so funny. And it's even funny when we're talking to Dooks. everyone's always so scared to be like, if the Oilers win the Stanley Cup, it's like you don't want to talk
say
about
when.
it, right? I know, but like sometimes you get nervous to like speak in the definites or whatever. You don't want to be the guy that's jinxing it. Bet365 has a prop that is who will get the Stanley Cup handed to them first at the end of these playoffs. And I think that's funny.
Oh my God. So it's Connor.
And then who?
It's
Leon.
Oh,
Leon is plus 400.
What about Nuge? What's Nuge?
Plus 1,400. He's right behind him on the list.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's going to be Leon for sure.
It's
but my
not
heart
going to be
wants
Leon. It should be Nuge. It should be the longest tenured Oiler.
Caveat: if somebody scored the cup-winning goal,
No.
like Connor Brown,
No.
Connor McDavid would give Connor Brown the cup second.
No.
See, I'm with you, Chalmers, in the sense that like my head says it's going to be Leon, but my heart wants it to be Nuge.
So it's usually they're playing for somebody like it would have been a Duncan Keith or
Like
something,
Joe
right?
Pavelski is the highest on the whole odds board for the whole playoffs because he is that guy.
Sure. Yes, he is.
Shout out
Well,
to his
Ben,
giveaway on
Ben
goal.
is going to hand it to Pavelski, right? Is what you're saying. If they were to, if Connor does, I would love to see him give it to Nuge, man, or Darnell.
I won't lie to you guys. Sometimes at night, when you can't go to sleep, I will lie on my back and I will try to picture the Stanley Cup ceremony on the ice. I try to picture Connor. I try to imagine what face he's going to have. I try to imagine like who they're going to show in the crowd and shit. Like I think about it, man.
I believe that it will only
be so luscious.
It will. There's like 2 moments of Stanley Cup playoffs that really resonate, and I have a picture of one of them there's actually 3. The one of Messier grabbing it and shaking it and like
in New York.
In New York is ingrained in my head. Like I love that picture because I loved the Oilers at that time, but I loved Messier. And when he went to the Rangers, I was so very much a Rangers fan at that point because of just how much I loved him. And I always loved Adam Graves. And I mean, like that moment was huge. Like for me, it's as a 14-year-old kid, and seeing Connor do something like that, seeing Messier as he's skating down the ice, like after that one goal where he's got his foot in the air against the Devils. Like I cannot wait to see this from Connor. And that's why I'm so anxious and nervous. I don't say if, I say when.
I can imagine Leon having it over his head.
I've been thinking about this cup thing. There is no way he does not give it to Leon.
I agree with you.
They're so close. He's in whenever Connor talks about, he always says Leon's the best player in the world.
He does.
He always does, right? And it's humble. That's great, right? But there's just no way he doesn't pass it to him. And then there's no way Leon doesn't pass it to Nuge, then to Hyman or Darnell. Yeah.
All right, we're not jinxing anything.
Nope. It's a betting.
Oh, we haven't put the cart before the horse at all. Which one do you think they're going to hand the cup off to in the parade?
Yeah, that's a wrap on our betting.
This
segment.
also makes me very uncomfortable.
They are one of the 4 remaining teams. And right now, I've been watching the Rangers and the Panthers series. When they play at their top level, they look like the best team in the playoffs right now. Those other teams are taking periods off, and Florida's taking periods off. Rangers, Oilers taking periods off. Dallas, it's going to be the team that stops taking periods off. And last night, they took the first 7 minutes off. And I don't even know that it was that. It was just weird goals. It was like, that was a snipe by Wyatt Johnson.
What was DJ Bean's joke last night? It was something like the Oilers gave a hell of a 52-minute complete game or something like that. It was a good line.
All right. Shout out to Bet365. Use the promo code Oily Bonus. One other thing I wanted to talk about is the opportunity on Sunday to have yourself an elite Edmonton sports day. This is something we haven't really gotten a chance to do because the Oilers have never made it this far. This is a game 5 in the conference final, is the furthest they've made it since 2006. The Edmonton Stingers have their home opener on Sunday at 4:00.
Poor timing.
Wanya's so edging
timing
right now.
Yeah, I'm getting what?
That's great timing. Because you can go watch the Stingers game, then head right to the Oilers game. You can do the Stingers game as your preamble into game 5 or game 6 of the Western Conference Final.
Sure. Yeah, I love that.
It's bang on. Anyways, we're excited to be partnering up with the Edmonton Stingers this year. And if you listen to Oilers Nation every day, the show before a home game, then
you're on camera, Charles.
Oh, sorry.
If you listen to Oilers Nation every day, the show before every home game, you could win yourself 2 tickets to the Stingers. They're taking on the Saskatoon Rattlers.
And what time is that at again?
4:00. Leads you
They're
right.
fun, man. I love going to Stingers games. I went to my first last year. I'm going to be.
They signed a really good college player this year that just came out of the
Former
NCAA.
NBA first-round pick Jacob Evans III, who played 2 seasons for the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
You think he's happy to be here?
Oh, they did an interview with him. He seemed like he was thrilled to be here.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to go get a Stingers jersey. I'm going to have my $5 beers.
Are you getting a Stingers jersey?
Okay, so
They're only $50.
let's get Stingers jerseys are cool.
They are
and
cool.
if we're going to get on the topic of jerseys, Baggedmilk walked in here today wearing what can be described as a 13-year-old,
No,
13-year-old kids.
Yes.
Orlando Magic Shaq jersey, and he's wearing it
You laughed at me.
in a peculiar way. He's got a hoodie on underneath it.
That's a
I think it's a
normal way to wear
legit look.
basketball jersey.
Well,
What do you want me to go fucking just arms out right now?
Yeah.
a t-shirt that matches the base color is nice.
Like the weird white guy bench player on the Milwaukee Bucks, just wearing
But
the
it just-
jersey, no undershirt.
So let me start talking about jerseys. And I have this thing. So
No, I want to know the problem with the Shaq
there's
jersey.
no problem with it. It was just jarring. I just haven't seen it in a while. I wasn't expecting that. So I just didn't
Before
think.
you finish your rant, I just want to say this.
It's all
Last
right.
night we were ordering food and the lady comes and she's like, "What would you like at the game?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'll have a drink." And then my buddy came to the game. He's like, "I'll have a drink." And then Baggedmilk's like, "Oh, I'll have something." And your Remcheck orders a white Dylan Holloway jersey off the server like he's eating dinner at Lids or Jersey City. Ordered a white Holloway jersey off the waitress.
So the waitress was like, "Hey, there's a guy I work with, and I can get you 40% off anything from the shop." And I was like, "I would like a white Dylan Holloway jersey. Could you get me that for 40% off?" And she's like, "Absolutely. Give me your credit card. I'll be back in an hour."
Did you get it?
No, they didn't have any in the store.
She never came back.
But that's one of the most balling things I've ever seen done. In the
No, I love
I'll
it.
do another Molson and a white Holloway if you have it.
Yeah,
Yep,
if you
not
have
a
it in
blue.
stock.
It was
blue, I sent
very
it back.
funny because as the period was kind of winding down, the third period, Tyler just goes, "Huh, don't have my credit card back yet."
It's all a lot of trust there.
I mean,
So with jerseys, did you guys ever go through like a time in your life when you just started ordering things? eBay became really popular when I was like probably 17, 18 years old.
what'd you just say?
eBay?
Oh,
That's an A baby.
eBay.
It was a baby as well.
Oh, it's
Like
the counterfeit
Hurricane Chris
eBay.
song, A
I was
Baby.
trying to think if this is like Kangol Chris kind of brands that you were with.
No. So this was eBay. And I ordered one jersey and it was a LeVar Arrington like all-star jersey anyways. And then I realized really quickly that there was a lot of counterfeit stuff on there. So you had to get. So what I did was when Reggie Bush won the Heisman, I bought 2 USC jerseys, a red and a white one, both signed by him with certificates of authenticity. And I was like, this guy is going to be something. These are going to rocket up in value. And other than, so Reggie then goes on to have a pretty mediocre NFL career.
Yeah.
But he's one of the only players in NFL history to lose their Heisman trophy due to like getting illegal benefits.
yeah, selling autographed jerseys on eBay.
To you.
But just recently, he got his Heisman back. So, like, I don't know, man. So, did you ever collect jerseys? Anybody ever collect like really unique, ridiculous jerseys? I have a LeBron James All-Star jersey.
I have the Shaquille O'Neal jersey you made fun of. I also have
I didn't
Scottie.
make fun of it. I just
I've got a
wasn't.
Scottie Pippen I might start rocking.
Ooh, no tipping Pippen.
Well, I worked at Jersey City.
Oh,
So when you're, for the first time in my life, I'm making money. And I also spend all day looking at the online inventory of lids in Jersey City. Every day you go in there and you're like, well, with my employee discount, this hat's only $7. So you buy it. Oh my God, I can get this Oakland Raiders jersey for $18 right now. Yeah, that looks cool. I'll probably wear it. And now my closet's just full of a bunch of jerseys I didn't pay a lot of money for, but I never wear.
I got a Bo Jackson white
That's
Oakland
sick.
Raiders
See, that's
jersey.
sick. Why
Yeah,
don't you wear
that's
that
awesome. I don't know. I just loved it.
I've
So
got a
nice.
whole bunch of jerseys. Like when I'll go to a city to blend in, I'll always buy all their apparel to go to the game. But I'll go like there was one time some guy playing for the Dallas Cowboys. They had a bunch of jerseys that had the wrong number on them. Like I could give a fuck. So I always go get the weirdo jerseys. I have a Ziggy Palfy jersey,
Oh, it's here.
16 on it. I was walking through the LA airport. It's like Ziggy Palfy, $5. And I'm like, why is this $5? Did someone die in it? And they're like, no, wrong number. For $5.
What number
I'll
was
take a
Zygmunt
Ziggy.
Palfy? 67? No. I got to keep it at 100
That
if you
jersey was
want.
also cool because it's got the cool numbers on the back. I like the font that year of the Kings had. So some of them jerseys just look nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, Ziggy's was the purple one.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were
That
cool.
weird king crown.
Yeah. All
He
right.
was 16. The Islanders.
Oh, was he?
The
He
Island.
was a weird number with somebody else then.
That was with where?
He was a Kings. It was a
Oh, Kings jersey.
Okay, Chalmers, wrap up the show with Keep It 100.
Is there any situation in this
You
world?
just like got possessed. You're like,
I gotta remember. I gotta.
Just
watch
watch
the find yourself buying
The last time I wrote one of these, I fumbled my ass through it, so I didn't write anything. I just wrote a couple notes. But
the dome.
is there anything in this world where music doesn't make it better? If you're going to a party, music's going to make that party better.
Yep.
In between the commercial breaks at a hockey game, what do they play? Music.
Mhm.
When you're walking down a district in a American city, like in Nashville or Dallas, there's music playing outside of every bar.
Sure. Classical music outside the 7-Elevens.
Music makes everything better and it makes every situation. I am somebody who's opposed to silence. So when I walk into my house, I immediately turn the TV on. I immediately turn to music. There's one place that music must be played and it must be played loud. And in my life, I never see it. The public bathroom. Nobody plays music in the public bathroom. It is quiet as church in there. And it is the one place where people go to do something 98% of people are embarrassed to do in public.
And
Maybe
the
don't
2%
like it.
that aren't, you don't want to know.
When you go in there, let's say you've had a turtle head poking out and you can't go anywhere else. You've got to get to the bathroom. And you go in there. You either wish that somebody is going to be drying their hands, flushing a toilet, or you will be by yourself. So you can
Let her buck.
Mhm.
If they just mandated music in the bathroom, everybody's life would be better.
I just throw in my own AirPods and I pretend I'm in my own world.
I bring a boombox.
Nobody does that.
I do
Number
spoken
one.
word poetry.
Is that guy going to start breakdancing in the toilet? Nope. Be back in a bit.
Are you guys telling me you're not like me where you literally go in the bathroom and if you have to I hate public shitting. It's the worst.
I avoid it at all costs.
But so do I. But there is times where you just are like,
no option.
yeah. So like a hockey tournament, 8 a.m. We got to take it to the arena. There's only one bathroom in this arena and we're there for that game, a lunch in the conference room and a second game. I know I'm there for 6 hours. I'm not holding this in for 6 hours.
You'd be pooping.
Yep.
Got to. Sometimes you just got to do it. Are you somebody that likes to walk in and see other people's feet under there and be like, oh, this is going to be awesome. It's super quiet. And you're just like, just put music on. How hard is it? Have music playing. I went in a bathroom the other day that did have music playing and I was like, I might just try to poop now. I don't even have to. I might just go in there and give it a whirl. Does nobody agree with me? Am I the only one here?
with you?
Okay. Well, I am getting no support from your facial expression.
No, I'm trying to think of what a possible counter argument is. There's not one.
I'm trying to think of which genre I'd prefer.
I'm trying to think
Dubstep.
what authority make an appeal to for them to green light this.
Yes.
The business development office at the city of Edmonton needs to be approached and said, hear he.
You want me to tweet at the mayor?
Calgary invented the Caesar. We could invent ambient toilet
No
music.
public bathroom shall be without music playing at least at 60 decibels.
Are there any concerns now if you're doing your business and the guy in the stall beside you is just starts singing along to the song, enjoys it?
That cuts the tension. What you're sitting there. I'd welcome a singing guy next to me taking a crap. Because if I go in there to pee and I see somebody, I now think that all of a sudden I've tensed them up because they don't want to drop it now that they see that somebody else is in here. So I finish my pee quickly, oh, sorry, dude. And then I try to flush the toilet and turn on the sink. I'm trying to be a better person for that guy because he's sitting there being like, oh God, I didn't want to be here in the first place. And I'm here. Right? Just put music on. This isn't that hard.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's keeping it 100.
Like a little 3-6 Mafia or something,
Mm-hmm. Well, there should be a mandatory bathroom PlayStation or
Sure.
playlist.
To this kind of point,
Mm-hmm.
down in Dallas, Tyler, let me know what you thought. I actually really liked if you went into the bathrooms at the American Airlines Arena and they had their intermission show playing over the speakers.
Yeah.
Exactly. And would you have? Yeah. Perfect. That's also how it is at the Oilers games.
Yeah, the Oilers play Tony. You can listen to Tony while you poop.
That's you. It's just like, it seems like a no-brainer to me. And also, it's the same thing as like lids on the freezers at grocery stores. Seems like a no fucking brainer.
Yeah, before when they would just have like the open.
It's the dumbest thing in the world. We're talking about energy. What are we doing here?
An air curtain, and when you open up a drawer like that, it always lets the cold air out. And those lidless ones have like an air curtain, so it uses way less energy.
I never heard of an air curtain before. I only heard of meat curtain.
It's what, meat curtain?
No, never mind. I don't know. There's no such thing as an air curtain.
Yes, there is. That's the same type of machine. When you walk in, there's a heater right above the door.
Is it like the meniscus of a glass when you fill it up so full that it goes over the top?
What am I, a bloody archbishop?
Meniscus, the part of your knee?
No.
The meniscus is like meniscus. You got a full glass of water and it comes over the lip.
Yeah,
but it doesn't spill.
That's the meniscus.
That's the meniscus.
That's not a meniscus. That's a knee tendon.
No, it's called the meniscus.
All right.
Wanya, what bathrooms? Are we onto something here or what?
You want me to talk about this? Listen to this. When I graduated from high school,
yeah, I do.
I walked across the stage. My parents, when I was in grade 12, they were not fans of mine at all. I was doing increasier, wackier shit as year went on. I walked across the stage. My grandparents are there. My parents, who are divorced and don't like each other, have all gathered. And I walked over and shook everyone's hand and said, "Didn't shit once since kindergarten at school." And my parents were so mad at me for ruining my own grad.
Shit
I was
break.
like, how do you do? Didn't shit once. How do you do? Didn't shit once. I was more excited about that than graduating from high school.
I didn't have the run as you did in high school or throughout school, I guess.
Not once at school did I ever go.
But I went grade 9 to 12 without.
I asked my kids this the other day if they do it at school, and they're like, "No, we don't go in the bathroom." Especially my older one, he's like, "No, all kids do is sit in there and vape."
Yeah, vape?
There's vape at junior high school. They're just sitting in there vaping.
What the fuck? I remember in grade 1, I can remember going to school and like going to the big kid bathroom and looking, and like no toilets are flushed. It was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. And I was like, I'm going to hold it until 1999.
So because there's no music in bathrooms, this also leads me to, have you ever been to Cineplex Odeon theaters?
Yeah.
Scotiabank theaters?
Yeah. I go just for the popcorn.
Me too. So we just did that the other day.
That delivered on DoorDash, and I just give the driver $1,000 tip because I don't understand how money works.
This isn't going to be good. This isn't going to make me look good. But I am so not willing to do my number 2s in a public bathroom that I actively look out for the handicap bathroom or the family bathroom.
Oh, you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, I know.
There's also really good parking stalls near every door.
No, I wouldn't park there. You ever been in that? You ever been in the family bathroom and then all of a sudden heard the door jiggle? Well, that is a
you have to pretend there's a
interesting bit of business.
Yeah. Come on, Junior, let's go.
No, what I do
got their money's worth.
What I do is I just walk out and I look at the family and I'm like, "Okay, I'll just be out here," and then I shut the door and then I just start to slowly walk away.
That makes you look like a creep. That's not good.
No, I'm sure. I've never done that. I'm just kidding. It was just a joke. It sounded funny in my head.
All right. I thought I had something else to say, but I think we're going to wrap it up.
More caca talk.
Yeah, this is getting to some weird places.
Music in the bathrooms, man.
Yeah.
I can subscribe.
I did not predict that Keep It 100 would go to that.
No.
Go down to Dog Patch right now. Pull down your pants, sit on the toilet. Tell me. That experience wouldn't be
for the record. I don't know what you're thinking of in this scenario.
What's the bathroom down there then?
That booth in the corner is not what you think it is.
Yeah, that's a DJ booth.
Yeah, that's a DJ booth.
Can't poop in there. Yep. When we talk to everybody next, it'll be Monday. It'll be the day after Game 6 of the Western Conference Final. We'll see what kind of mood we're in on Monday.
Here's the thing. Just one last thing, Tyler. The Oilers cannot do in Game 5 what they did in Game 5 of Round 2.
Yes.
I don't want to see backs up against the wall. I want to see an opportunity to close on the weekend at home. That's what I want.
Oh, so exciting.
All right. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.